What if one simple workout could quietly shake the foundation of a marriage? Ethan never expected to see his mother-in-law at 6 a.m., standing under the bright white lights of Iron Pulse Gym in downtown Denver. His mornings were predictable. Alarm at 5. Black coffee. 30 minutes on the treadmill. Shower. Office by 8. It was the only part of his life that felt steady lately. Work was manageable. Home felt distant. Emily had been buried in her legal cases for months, chasing partnership at her firm. He supported her dream. He truly did. But somewhere between late-night emails and canceled date nights, something had shifted. That Tuesday morning, as Ethan stepped off the treadmill and wiped sweat from his forehead, he noticed a familiar face near the stretching area. Claire. Emily's mother. She was adjusting the strap on a yoga mat, looking slightly unsure of herself. She wasn't dressed like she usually was at family dinners. No pearls. No soft cardigans. Just leggings, sneakers, and determination. For a second, he thought he was mistaken. But then she looked up. Ethan, she asked, surprised. Claire? I didn't know you worked out here. I just joined, she said with a small smile. Figured it's time to focus on myself. He nodded politely. That's great. It should have ended there. A quick hello. A respectful distance. But when she struggled to adjust a machine, he walked over without thinking. Here, let me show you, he said, keeping his tone calm and neutral. She thanked him. Their fingers brushed for a split second while adjusting the seat. It meant nothing. Yet he felt strangely aware of the moment. Not in a romantic way. Just, aware. You're here every morning? She asked. Yeah. Before work. Maybe I'll see you again then. Maybe. He walked away, but something stayed with him. He had always seen Claire as Emily's mother. Strong. Opinionated. Protective. But in that gym, she seemed different. More human. A woman rebuilding herself after a difficult divorce the year before. He suddenly realized he knew very little about her life beyond holidays and family gatherings. The next morning, she was there again. This time she waved first. He almost changed his routine to avoid awkwardness, but that felt childish. So he stayed. They exchanged simple words between sets. She asked about work. He asked about her new apartment. It was normal. Harmless. Divorce makes you rethink everything, she admitted casually while walking on the treadmill beside him. You wake up one day and realize you don't recognize your own life. He didn't know how to respond at first. Then he said quietly, yeah. I think that happens in marriage too sometimes. She glanced at him. Are you and Emily okay? He hesitated. We're fine. Just busy. It wasn't a lie. But it wasn't the full truth either. That evening at home, Emily sat at the kitchen island with her laptop open. Paper scattered everywhere. Hey, she said without looking up. Hey. He waited for her to ask about his day. She didn't. After 10 minutes, he quietly went upstairs. The following week, Claire and Ethan kept running into each other. The gym felt smaller. Conversations grew slightly longer. Still respectful. Still within boundaries. One morning, after finishing their workouts, she suggested grabbing a smoothie from the small cafe inside the gym. It's on me, she said lightly. For the free training advice. He should have declined. He knew that. But it was public. Harmless. They sat across from each other at a small round table. People moved around them. Music played overhead. You've always been good to Emily, Claire said. He smiled politely. I try. She can be intense, Claire added with a soft laugh. She gets that from me. She's driven, he said. I admire that. But do you feel seen? She asked suddenly. The question caught him off guard. Of course, he replied quickly, but the silence that followed said something else. Claire noticed. She didn't push further. Instead, she changed the topic to lighter things, travel plans, movies, gym classes. Still, the question echoed in his mind long after he left. Do you feel seen? That night, Emily came home past 9. Sorry, she said, kicking off her heels. Big client. It's okay, he answered automatically. They ate reheated leftovers. She scrolled through her phone while he talked about a small project at work. Halfway through his sentence, she interrupted, Can we talk about this later? I'm exhausted. He nodded. Yeah. Sure. He went to bed staring at the ceiling. The next morning at the gym, Claire studied his face. You look tired, she observed, just didn't sleep much. She handed him a bottle of water. Marriage isn't easy. He gave a small laugh. No one said it would be. Their eyes met longer than usual. There was no flirtation. No inappropriate words. But there was understanding. A quiet recognition of shared loneliness. He didn't like how comforting it felt. As days passed, he started adjusting his schedule slightly, arriving 5 minutes earlier. Leaving 5 minutes later. Just enough to overlap with her. He told himself it was coincidence. He told himself it was harmless conversation. But one Friday morning, as they walked out of the gym together, Claire paused by the parking lot. I'm glad I run into you here, she said softly. It's nice talking to someone who listens. He swallowed. Yeah. Me too. The words slipped out before he could stop them. In that moment, he realized something subtle had changed. Not attraction. Not desire. But emotional comfort, and emotional comfort can be powerful. As he drove home, he gripped the steering wheel tighter than usual. He wasn't doing anything wrong. Yet he felt a quiet guilt building under the surface, because for the first time in months, he felt heard, and it wasn't by his wife. That realization followed him all the way to his driveway, and deep down, he knew this was only the beginning. What happens when comfort slowly turns into something you can no longer control? Ethan told himself he would create distance. That was the plan. Keep workouts short. No smoothies. No long talks. Just polite greetings and nothing more. But plans are easy in the quiet of the night. Mornings feel different. On Monday, Claire was already at the gym when he arrived. She smiled when she saw him, not in a bold way, just warm and familiar. It felt natural to walk toward her. Too natural. They worked out side by side without saying much. Still, the silence between them was comfortable. Not awkward. Not forced. That comfort unsettled him more than any flirtatious comment could have. Halfway through their session, Claire stepped off the treadmill and said softly, Emily called me last night. Ethan's chest tightened. Oh? She sounded stressed. She said you two barely talk these days. He looked down at the floor. We're just busy. She said you've been distant. The word hit him harder than he expected. Distant. Was he? Or had he simply grown tired of speaking into silence? I don't want to interfere, Claire added quickly. I just worry about both of you. That should have drawn a line. Instead, it pulled him deeper. I don't know how to reach her anymore, he admitted quietly. Every conversation feels rushed. Claire studied him carefully. Marriage isn't just about staying loyal in actions, she said. It's about staying connected in heart. The sentence stayed with him all day. That evening, he tried again with Emily. He suggested dinner out. She canceled because of a late meeting. He offered to watch a movie at home. She fell asleep halfway through. When he gently mentioned feeling ignored, she sighed. Ethan, I'm doing this for us. For our future. I know, he said. But what about now? She didn't answer. Her phone buzzed again. The next morning, he almost skipped the gym. But routine pulled him there. Claire was waiting near the stretching mats. You look upset, she said. I'm fine. You're not. The concern in her voice felt real. That was the problem. It felt real. They sat on a bench near the lockers, away from others but still in public view. She didn't touch him. She didn't lean close. Yet her attention felt focused in a way he hadn't experienced in months. Sometimes, she said gently, people chase success so hard they forget the person standing beside them. He nodded. I don't want to resent her. Then don't let silence grow, Claire replied. He exhaled slowly. It already has. That afternoon, Emily texted him something unexpected. Mom mentioned she saw you at the gym. That's nice. His heart skipped. Yeah. Small world. She said you two talk a lot. He stared at the message longer than necessary. Just casual conversation. Emily responded with a thumbs-up emoji. Nothing more. It should have relieved him. Instead, it created tension. Why did he feel like he had something to hide when nothing inappropriate had happened? Over the next week, the emotional weight increased. Claire began sharing more about her own divorce. She spoke about feeling invisible in her marriage. About giving everything and receiving silence in return. Her words mirrored his thoughts too closely. One rainy morning, the gym was nearly empty. The sound of water hitting the windows created a quiet atmosphere. After their workout, the power flickered briefly. For a few seconds, the lights dimmed. Claire laughed softly. Feels dramatic, doesn't it? He smiled despite himself. They stood near the entrance, waiting for the rain to slow. The world outside looked gray and distant. Ethan, she said suddenly, her tone serious. You need to be careful. With what? With where you place your emotional energy. His chest tightened. Are you saying? I'm saying feelings don't always begin loudly, she interrupted. Sometimes they grow in small, quiet spaces. He swallowed hard. I care about my daughter, she continued. And I respect you. That's why I'm saying this. The honesty hit him harder than any secret would have. He stepped back slightly. Nothing is happening. I know, she said. Let's keep it that way. The rain slowed. She walked toward her car without another word. For the first time since this started, he felt shaken. At home that night, Emily surprised him. She closed her laptop early. Let's talk, she said. They sat on the couch. No phones. No distractions. I've been overwhelmed, she admitted. But I don't want to lose us. His throat tightened. I don't want that either. For a moment, hope flickered, but then her phone buzzed again. She glanced at it instinctively. He noticed. The silence returned. The next morning, Claire wasn't at the gym. He told himself that was good. Healthy. Necessary, but he kept glancing at the door. By Wednesday, she still hadn't come. A strange emptiness followed him during his workout. He hated that he noticed her absence so strongly. On Thursday, she finally appeared. You disappeared, he said before thinking. She gave a faint smile. I thought space might help. Did it? For you, she asked softly. He didn't answer. They worked out separately that day. No shared machines. No smoothie. Just brief nods. As he was leaving, she called his name. Ethan. He turned. 3 weeks, she said quietly. That's how long I've been observing. Observing what? You. His heart began to race. She held his gaze steadily. And what I've seen matters more than you realize. Before he could ask another question, she walked away. He stood frozen near the exit, confusion and fear mixing in his chest. What had she been watching, and why did it suddenly feel like he was part of something he didn't understand? What if the person you trusted was quietly testing you all along? Ethan barely slept after Claire's words echoed in his mind. 3 weeks. Observing. Watching. The thought unsettled him. Had every smile, every smoothie, every quiet talk been part of something bigger? By morning, he felt restless. He needed answers. At the gym, he spotted her near the free weights. She looked calm, almost steady, like nothing had shifted. He walked straight toward her. What did you mean yesterday? He asked quietly. She didn't pretend to misunderstand. She set the dumbbells down and faced him. I wanted to see who you really are when no one is looking. His chest tightened. Why would you do that? Because Emily has been hurt before, she said firmly. In college. A boyfriend she trusted betrayed her. She never fully recovered from that. He blinked. Emily had never told him that. She hides her fears behind ambition, Claire continued. But she worries she's not enough. That if she focuses on work, someone will replace her. The words hit him hard. Replace her. Was that what Emily feared? So you tested me? He asked. I watched how you spoke. How you reacted. Whether you crossed lines. Her voice softened. You didn't. He felt both relieved and insulted. You could have just asked me. She wouldn't let me, Claire replied. She didn't want to seem insecure. But she asked me one thing. What? She asked me to tell her the truth about you. The gym suddenly felt smaller. So she knows we talk? Yes. The air felt heavy. She wanted to know if you were pulling away, Claire added. If you were looking for comfort somewhere else. He shook his head slowly. I wasn't. I know, Claire said gently. That's what matters. Silence stretched between them, then he asked the question that had been sitting in his chest. Did you ever think I would? Claire looked at him carefully. I didn't know. That's why I watched. That honesty stung. He stepped back slightly. You should have trusted me. I wanted to, she said. But trust feels fragile when someone you love is scared. He ran a hand through his hair. Anger, confusion, and relief tangled inside him. He hadn't done anything wrong. Yet somehow he felt exposed. Does Emily know everything? He asked. She knows I've been observing, Claire said. She doesn't know every detail. What kind of details? That you felt unheard. That you were lonely. His jaw tightened. You told her that? I told her she needs to pay attention. He didn't know how to feel. Part of him felt grateful. Another part felt betrayed. That evening, when he came home, Emily was waiting in the living room. No laptop. No phone in hand. Just her. Can we talk? She asked softly. His pulse quickened. Did your mom tell you something? She told me enough, Emily said. He sat across from her. I asked her to watch, she admitted. Not because I don't trust you. But because I felt you drifting away. I wasn't drifting, he said. I was trying to survive the silence. Her eyes filled slightly. I thought if I worked harder, we'd be secure. I didn't see what it was costing us. He exhaled slowly. I didn't want someone else to listen to me. I wanted you to. The room felt fragile. Did you ever think about crossing a line? She asked quietly. He answered honestly. No. But I realized how easy emotional comfort can grow. She nodded. That scares me. It scares me too. For the first time in months, they were speaking openly. No distractions. No rushed words. I'm sorry, Emily said. I let fear guide me. I'm sorry I didn't push harder to reach you, he replied. A small shift happened between them. Not dramatic. Not perfect. But real. The next morning, Ethan went to the gym alone. Claire was there, stretching near the window. Everything out in the open? She asked. Yes. And? He gave a small nod. We talked. She smiled gently. That's all I wanted. He studied her for a moment. Why 3 weeks? She took a slow breath. Because patterns reveal truth. 1 day means nothing. 3 weeks shows character. He couldn't argue with that. I never meant to create tension, she added. I wanted to protect my daughter. And maybe remind you both what matters. He nodded slowly. Did you ever doubt me? He asked. She held his gaze. For a moment. But doubt faded when you kept your distance, even when you were hurting. That acknowledgement felt heavy. I respect you, she said quietly. Don't make me regret that. He gave a small, firm nod. I won't. As he walked toward the exit, he felt something shift inside him. The test was over. But the real work had just begun. That evening, Emily suggested something unexpected. "Let's take a weekend trip," she said. "No phones. No work." He raised an eyebrow. "Are you serious?" "Yes." Hope flickered again, but as he went upstairs to pack, his phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. It read, "If you only knew the full reason she asked for that test." His heart stopped. He stared at the screen, confusion rushing back. What full reason, and who sent it? Suddenly, the truth didn't feel complete at all. What if the truth you thought you understood was only half of the story? Ethan stared at the message again. "If you only knew the full reason she asked for that test." The number was unfamiliar. No name. No photo. Just those words. His heart pounded as he walked downstairs, phone still in his hand. Emily was in the kitchen, making tea like nothing had changed. For a second, he considered hiding it. But secrets were the very thing that had brought them here. "Emily," he said carefully, "did you text me from another number?" She looked confused. "No." "Why?" He handed her the phone. She read the message twice. Her face lost color. "I didn't send this." "Then who would?" Her hands trembled slightly. "Maybe Mom?" He shook his head. "Why would she send something like that after everything we just cleared up?" Silence filled the room again, but this time it felt different. Not distant. Not cold. Just tense. Emily grabbed her phone and called Claire immediately. The call went to voicemail. "That's strange," Emily whispered. "She always answers." Ethan felt a familiar tightness return to his chest. Just when things seemed to be healing, another crack appeared. An hour later, Claire finally called back. "I was in the shower," she said calmly. "What's wrong?" Emily didn't waste time. "Did you text Ethan from another number?" There was a pause. "No." "Why would I?" Emily explained the message. Claire sounded genuinely surprised. "That wasn't me," she said firmly. "And I have no idea what that means." Ethan listened closely. Her voice carried no hesitation. "Mom," Emily asked slowly, "was there another reason you wanted to test him?" Another short silence. "There was only one reason," Claire replied. "To protect you. Nothing else." The call ended with more questions than answers. That night, Ethan couldn't sleep. He kept replaying the past 3 weeks. Every conversation. Every glance. Every word. Had someone else been watching too? The thought unsettled him deeply. The next morning, he decided to change his routine. Instead of going to the gym at 6, he went at 8. The place felt different at that hour. New faces. New energy. He scanned the room carefully. Near the entrance desk stood a young woman he recognized. Jenna. She worked part-time at the smoothie counter. She had been there during several mornings when he and Claire talked. Their eyes met briefly. She looked away quickly. A strange feeling crept in. After his workout, he approached the counter. "Hey," he said casually. "Busy morning?" "Kind of," Jenna replied, avoiding eye contact. He hesitated. "Did you ever notice someone taking photos or paying attention to me here?" Her face froze for a split second. "Why would you ask that?" He lowered his voice. "I got a strange message. I'm just trying to understand." Jenna swallowed. "I shouldn't say anything." His stomach dropped. "Say anything about what?" She leaned closer, her voice barely above a whisper. "A few weeks ago, a man came in asking about you. He showed me your photo. Said he was a friend." Ethan's heart pounded. "What man?" "I don't know his name," she said quickly. "Tall. Dark jacket." He asked how often you come. "If you talk to anyone regularly." Cold realization washed over him. "Did you tell him?" he asked. "I just said you're polite." "That's it." "Did he mention my wife?" No. Ethan stepped back, mind racing. That afternoon, he told Emily everything. Her face tightened with concern. "Who would do that?" she asked. He thought carefully. Then a memory surfaced. Your dad, he said slowly. Emily stiffened. What? After your parents divorced, didn't he blame you for supporting your mom? She nodded reluctantly. He said I took her side. And he never liked me. Emily's breathing grew shallow. You think he hired someone to watch you? I don't know, Ethan admitted. But it feels too planned. Without wasting time, Emily called her father. The conversation was short and tense. Did you have someone follow Ethan? She asked directly. Her father laughed sharply. Why would I waste time on that? Because you think every man eventually cheats, she fired back. His voice turned cold. Men do what men always do. That's not an answer, she said. Silence lingered. Finally, he muttered, maybe I just wanted proof that your perfect husband isn't so perfect. The room went still. So you did, Emily whispered. I wanted to protect you, he replied defensively. Your mother fills your head with nonsense. I know how men think. Emily ended the call immediately, her hands shaking. Ethan felt anger rise, but he stayed calm. He wanted you to doubt me. Tears filled her eyes. He's always believed love fails. Ethan stepped closer. But we don't have to. The truth settled heavily between them. Claire's test had been driven by fear. But her father's actions came from mistrust and control. Two different motives. Two different worlds. That evening, Emily called Claire and told her everything. Claire was furious. He crossed a line, she said firmly. Watching you without consent is wrong. But it showed us something, Ethan said quietly. What? Claire asked. That we can survive pressure. The weekend trip came sooner than expected. They drove to a small cabin in Colorado. No gym. No phones. Just quiet mountains and open sky. The first night, they sat outside under the stars. I almost let fear destroy this, Emily admitted. I almost let loneliness guide me, Ethan replied. They didn't blame each other. They didn't avoid hard truths. They spoke honestly. For the first time in months, the silence between them felt peaceful instead of heavy. On the final morning, as they packed to leave, Emily turned to him. No more tests, she said softly. No more distance, he promised. When they returned home, life wasn't magically perfect. Work still demanded attention. Family still carried history. But something had shifted. Trust was no longer assumed. It was chosen, and as Ethan drove past the gym on Monday morning, he realized something important. Temptation had never been the real threat, silence had been. But now, silence no longer controlled their story, and this time, they were ready for whatever came next.